Let's be real. Every business today is practically drowning in data. So, how do you turn all that chaos into actual, growth?
So, let's just start with a really simple question. Take a look at all the information your business is collecting. Is it truly helping you? Is it an asset? Or is it just making things more complicated? This is a huge frustration for so many people, and it's the exact problem we're tackling today.
And listen, if that hits home, you are definitely not alone. It's such a common issue that it has its own name, the modern data dilemma. So many companies are sitting on what's basically a gold mine of data, but they just can't seem to find the gold.
Okay, so what does this chaos actually look like? Well, first, you've got info stuck in silos. Marketing has their data, sales has their own, and neither system talks to the other. And that leads directly to the second point. You have this massive flood of data, but almost no real actionable insights. And the end result? Well, making decisions becomes super slow, it's inefficient, and way too often it relies on guesswork instead of actual facts.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Your business is creating a mountain of data every single day. But here's the billion-dollar question. Is any of it actually leading to real, measurable growth? For way too many businesses, the answer is a big, frustrating no.
But what if you could change all that? Well, that's exactly where we pivot to the DataCaffe solution. It's designed from the ground up to tackle this exact dilemma and turn that data chaos into some serious clarity and growth.
So how does it work? You can think of it as this really clear three-step journey from chaos to clarity. First, they use AI to unlock those key insights that are hiding in your data. Then, they use those insights to help you build strategies that actually scale with your business. And finally, the whole thing helps streamline your processes, turning tangled workflows into a super efficient path forward.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this whole approach actually translate into real services? We're about to break down exactly how DataCaffe can unlock all that potential that's just sitting there, hidden in your data.
Okay, first up is AI analytics. You can basically think of this as the super smart engine of the whole operation. It takes all of that raw, messy data and uses AI to spot patterns and signals that a human being would probably miss. So for example, it could analyze your sales data and tell you, hey, this specific group of customers is about to churn next month, giving you a chance to step in before they leave.
And this quote here, it really says it all. We're not just talking about making prettier charts or graphs. We are talking about a total transformation. It's about taking that raw, unprocessed data from all those separate silos and turning it into a genuine strategic advantage.
But, having all these amazing insights is useless if you can't actually do anything with them, right? And that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle, business intelligence. This is all about getting those powerful AI insights to your team in a way they can actually use. Think a crystal clear, real-time dashboard instead of some clunky, complicated spreadsheet.
Right, so the key here, the absolute game changer, is speed and relevance. This isn't about digging through reports from last quarter to figure out what went wrong. These BI tools are all about tracking performance in real time, letting you and your team make smart calls on the fly, right when it matters most. Now, of course, these powerful tools don't just exist in a vacuum. They need a really strong foundation, and DataCaffe builds that with two key pillars of support. On one hand, you've got expert consulting, making sure the solution fits your business like a glove, not the other way around. And on the other hand, they provide the secure, scalable cloud services your team needs to act on those insights in a split second.
And I love this slide because it just lays it all out so perfectly. The whole workflow is, it's just beautifully simple. First, you've got data ingestion, which just means pulling in all your information. Then the AI gets to work with the analysis. From there, clear insights are generated. And the final, most important step, those insights lead directly to smarter decisions. It's just a clean, powerful, repeatable cycle.
Okay, so we've seen the how, but what about the so what? What does all this actually mean for your business, for your bottom line? Let's talk about the payoff, the real, tangible benefits of all this data intelligence.
Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the before. Sound familiar? Manual processes, a whole lot of guesswork, and growth that's, pretty slow. But then you look at the right, the after. With DataCaffe, your workflows are optimized, your decisions are actually driven by data, and most importantly, you start seeing real, measurable growth. It's a night and day difference. To put it even more simply, these are your key advantages.
First, you get from data to insight way, way faster. Second, your decisions become so much more accurate because they're based on actual evidence, not just a gut feeling. And finally, your workflows get smoother, which boosts productivity all across the board.
All right, we've talked about the problem, we've walked through the solution, and we've seen the incredible benefits. So now let's talk about the path forward, your path to unlocking all that growth.
You know, when you strip everything else away, it really just boils down to this one simple question. We've seen how chaotic data can be totally transformed into measurable growth. So are you ready to make that happen for your business?
So if the answer is yes, or even just a maybe, I want to learn more, then here's how you do it. All the info you need is right here. The next step is yours to take. It's time to stop letting your data create chaos and start putting it to work for some real measurable growth.